See you all on the other side.
Welcome, everybody, to Studio Wesley Live. I am your host, Sam Stiles-Williams. I'll be your guest host for the evening, and I'm trying really hard not to do the Annex intro right now, because this is a different show. I am joined by three lovely and amazing people today. We're going to start on the left, and I get to pick, I found out about 5 minutes ago, I get to pick the question of the day. So we're doing my favorite personality question. Starting with Grace, one, how are you? But also, if you were a piece of furniture, what piece of furniture would you be?
Hi. I'm okay. I'm a little stressed because I'm having a hard time finding an answer to this question. I really don't.
Aren't you glad
feel
I made you
would be-
first?
What?
Aren't you glad you're first?
Sure. Sure I am. It's out of the way sooner. I genuinely don't know. I think maybe I would be like a nice, like, respectable lamp that has like really good lighting. I mean, I would like to be. I fear that I would be a lamp that's just like, but I
Don't
would
give
like to
yourself
be a
a
lamp
bad
with like
lighting.
respectable lighting. Maybe like a like string lights. Do string lights count as furniture?
100%. Anything that you pitch
Okay.
in this moment counts
Depends
as
on
furniture.
the size of the bulb. If you're doing like big bulbs, that's
Okay.
furniture. You know what I mean?
Now we're getting
But
too
I want to
technical.
be
Now.
like
little
Edison
lights.
bulbs.
Hey, this is a
I'm just so
technical world we
little. I
live
want to
in.
be little lights.
Details matter.
Okay.
Passing over.
Well, I'm that.
We got string lights of different bulb shapes. Neil, what piece of furniture would you be?
Hey, what's up? I've decided I'm going to be a rickety bookshelf. It's like a book, but it's like a cool looking bookshelf. You're like, oh, this is cool. I got this either at an antique store / on the side of the road outside of someone's house. And it looks cool. It matches my vibe. It also might be missing some screws, and some of the wood might have been gotten at by termites. But do you care? No, because generally I'm still holding up your books. I'm just a little inconvenient.
Do you
You're
think
just
it's
a little
haunted?
rickety, and that's okay.
Just
I
a
feel
little
like if
rickety.
you got it off the side of the road, then it would be haunted too. Would you be a haunted bookshelf?
I'm 100% haunted. Yeah, like I'm 100% haunted. Demons I'm carrying with me. Like, I was probably a tree that was in a forest somewhere that is one of those forests you don't go into.
You've
And
just
now
lived
you're just a
multiple
rickety bookshelf.
lives.
Yeah,
Exactly.
always.
Just well-rounded.
Yeah.
Tess, same question. Last one, and last but not least.
Jeez. Like Grace, I was given 10 minutes to processed this question and still did not come up with an actual answer. I don't know. My childhood desk growing up, like back before stickers got really popular, I was covering it with stickers because I was just like ahead of the curve, you know?
Mm-hmm.
To the point you literally
Trendsetter.
could not see the top of it. So I feel like I'm that, like just like capsules of different memories and points in life.
What color was the desk?
Could not tell you. I think it was black metal. I think it was like a black metal desk with like a glass top that was just really boring. And so I just started putting stickers over
Riddled
it.
with stickers, though. I like this.
Riddled
I like
Sticker
with
color,
stickers.
obviously.
What?
It was sticker color, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when stickers did get cool and people were actually putting out interesting stickers, like it just, yeah, there's probably 3 layers deep on there.
That's
Hey.
history right there. That's living multiple lives, like you said.
You walked so they could run.
Exactly.
Just a trendsetter. See, this is why I asked this question, is because one, it gives good answers, but also I love thinking of what people think furniture is. Like, do Edison bulbs count on a string light? Yeah, of course they do. I've heard people say fridge before, and I was like, yeah, if you think that's what counts, go for it. I always answer the same way. I would be an old leather reading chair. And specifically, there's one that we got donated from the church. I'm thinking of a nicer way to say we stole from the church, but we acquired from the church.
You
And
rescued.
I love that thing. We rescued it, exactly. And I think about that specific chair in my childhood home every single time. And with that, we're gonna go straight into highlights of the week. I'm not used to live bumpers. I was about to be like, I feel like there's a bumper here, but I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a bumper. We're going to go in reverse order this time. Tess, we're going to start with you. What's your highlight of the week you're bringing us?
So my highlight was yesterday I went with one of my friends to see Six, which was like the touring Broadway show here in Dallas. Gonna be so honest, I knew nothing about this show. I knew my parents had season tickets to the Strauss Center in Tampa for a couple of years, and so I knew they had seen it, and I like vaguely remembered my mom really enjoying it, but other than that, knew nothing about it. And it was a really fun show. Like it's 80 minutes, just one act. There's no intermission, but it's about King Henry. It's the 8th, right? King Henry the 8th, 6 wives. And it just like, it was a good time. There's 6 women and then a 4-piece band who is also all women. Like it just, the costumes were fun. The dancing was good. It was a fun time.
I was so excited when you sent this in the chat because I always like propping up Jasmine Forsberg, who is from Florida, did some stuff at St. Luke's for a long time when I was growing up there, was in it on Broadway for a really long time and toured for a little bit and is about to go back February 12th. So if you want to go back and see the show again in New York, check out one person I know that's on Broadway. That's super cool. We're going to keep going. Neil, what's your highlight you're bringing us?
Hello. My highlight is a low light. It is a thing that makes me very sad. It is a thing that makes Derek Scott very sad. It's probably a good thing that Derek Scott actually isn't even on this because if he were, he would be inconsolable. You know, we were chatting about age and whatnot in the sort of room before we got going, and you know, 2 of us, and not including Zach, are somewhat old enough to like remember this place. But Intuition Brewing is closing. They were like basically the largest craft brewery. That's not astronauts. Zach, I love you. Intuition was basically the largest brewery in Northeast Jacksonville. They were the first brewery in Jacksonville to actually be, or craft brewery, I should say, to actually begin canning their beers. And they've had statewide like distribution, like, you know, and they always like would name beers after, you know, certain Jacksonville things. I mean, their most famous one is the I-10 IPA, which you could find in, you know, many a bar and restaurant all throughout the city, and, you know, all throughout the state. I mean, you know, even at the place Grace and I used to work together, a little Italian restaurant, we had the I-10 IPA in a can. We had some local stuff. So, you know, I've been familiar with them for a long time, and now, you know, where I work at Manifest Distillery, we're in the same building, but other third of it next door to Intuition. And it's a sad time, because, you know, it relates to everything that I usually talk about on these, you know, which is like third spaces and the diminishing of people drinking alcohol over the years, and we also see things like the craft beer bubble like bursting, all this stuff. It's sad. It's like kind of a sign of the times thing. It's like a tiny brewery closes and you're like, like that's a sad thing, right? But what for us is kind of an industry giant in a way. I mean, maybe not as giant as Anheuser-Busch or all those other guys, but sort of our hometown hero. It's like Rocky dying. It's like it's a sad thing for us all to be here watch, because 9 months ago the owner put it up for sale. Some buyers were lined up, buyers fell through, and he just decided, you know what, when the lease is over April 24th, I'm closing the doors one last time. And it's sad. It's sad. So, but a bunch of people have been coming by them and, showing some love. And their last night, there's going to be a big old bluegrass concert. So it'll be a funeral for the ages. But yeah, that's my low light for the week. Bringing some depression into the space.
Yeah, bringing a sad moment into the highlight space. Do you have like a single? I'm putting you on the spot here. Do you have like a single favorite memory of the through line working with them or interacting with them at different places?
Yeah, 100%. It's one I was thinking about. So at Manifest, we make a barrel-aged gin that looks sort of similar to this. Derek Scott, oh, you beautiful man. I'm glad he's here. But at Manifest, we make a barrel-aged gin that looks very similar to this. And the colloquial term amongst us and the intuition guys, whenever they want to come over and receive a libation, is they say, "Oh, can I get a bag?" And the first time I met this guy, Adam, who came over from next door, he asked for a bag, and I physically grabbed him a paper bag for a bottle. And then I was informed, no, the barrel-aged gin. I was like, cool, this is my second day here. And
Really showing how you are to the group.
Yeah, exactly. Really outing myself as the new guy. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorites. But also just so many other like little moments that I've had with those guys and with the staff with various shows and concerts. So big sad. So it's big sad.
Sad to see him go.
Yeah.
And let it be known, Neil, I am young, but I'm cultured. I have been to Intuition many a time. So
well, good. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Throwing Sam under the bus.
Yeah, I knew as soon as you said it, I was like, well, I can't come back from this one.
Listen,
I
kill the house boots off.
2 weeks ago.
I've been to Manifest so
Exactly.
much, but I've never been to Intuition, and now I feel bad.
Okay, it's not just you.
I've never been to Manifest, so now I need to go to Manifest.
Tess, we should have a Jacksonville day. We
Tell
should have
me
a come back
when.
to the city day.
I know. I'm like, we both have to actually plan to be there, but yes, we'll make
Be
it
in the
happen.
same place at the same time is very hard for any people in Studio Wesley land.
Especially these four.
Grace, lift us back up. What is your highlight for the evening?
Bad Bunny. My highlight is that
Mic drop. Just leave it there.
That's it.
Benito is going to be one at the Super Bowl next week, but my link for today is talking about the Grammys. They're happening tonight. Sunday. The Grammys are this evening. And the link is a link to a New York Times article about it that talks about a lot of things, a lot of different awards. Kendrick Lamar is really like, they're thinking Kendrick is going to get a lot. He was really heavily nominated. But they're also talking about Bad Bunny. Again, Bad Bunny. He is up for some things, but then also the article is just talking a bit about like his current kind of trajectory. Because he is, well, the article title is a bit dramatic, but it's like the way that people make articles. It's like kind of clickbaity, but it's not clickbaity because it's like relevant. At a Grammys light on drama, all eyes will be on Bad Bunny. So it's like, although Kendrick Lamar has the most nominations, people are anticipating a lot of focus on Bad Bunny. Because, well, one, okay, if you're not familiar with Bad Bunny, like, get it together. But he is
Get with the program, guys.
a music artist. He's very talented. He's hilarious. He has also done some acting. He was on Saturday Night Live. But he's Puerto Rican, and he does like a very just like dancey type of some like rap, some singing. He's great. He's so talented. I love him. but he came out with an album. It's DBTF or DTMF. Debí tirar más fotos. It's like I should have taken more pictures. Oh, it's so emotional. It's you want to like dance and like kind of move your hips while you're sobbing through your eyes. But anyway, the focus is basically on the fact that like he is not touring in the United States in light of motions to everything. But he's not touring in the United States out of safety for his fans and the people that listen to his music and the general masses. But he is performing at the Super Bowl and he will be at the Grammys tonight. So there is likely that there will be some like commentary, different things on like what he is saying, or like how he performs, like messaging through his performances. So I'm very excited. I'm just very excited to see like what happens at the Grammys tonight and also at his Super Bowl performance next week. So pay attention to the awards, pay attention to the commentary and the performances at the nationally televised awards shows.
Do you think you're going to be watching this live, or is this something you're going to be wanting to like get clips of and performances, individual performances afterwards? Because I know a lot of people don't watch any of the award shows live anymore.
I would like to, but I don't have I cut my Paramount subscription because again, motions to everything. It's just expensive on top of a lot of other things. Interestingly though, and the article talks about this, this is the last like year that the current like production that owns the Grammys owns it. It's also Trevor Noah's last time performing. Apologies if you hear my cat being a freaking menace in the back. But basically, Trevor Noah's last time performing, or last time hosting, and last time that it will be owned by the current people that own it. I forget who, but it's going to be moving to Disney Plus and to that whole thing, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc. So I'll be watching it live next year probably, but no, I'll be at my weekly movie night watching Legally Blonde the musical, and I'll be swiping for updates on my phone.
That
for
1000% should have been your highlight.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. That's awesome.
Well, it'll be like there's like a
The, like New York Times
did a recording of it, yeah, of Legally Blonde. Not like watching it, like watching the musical, watching a taping of the musical.
We're not going to get into this on the live, but who do you think I am that I don't know which version of Legally Blonde the musical you're talking about?
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Of course I know. I thought you were talking about the New York Times updates. With that, we're going to go to my highlight, which is the last one, which, guys, we're going to space. We're not going to space right now because we're waiting a little bit because it got cold. But the Artemis mission is the first time that the United States is trying to go back to the moon in 54 years and send astronauts up there. It was supposed to launch in Florida on the 30th. And then it got too cold for Florida, which is a weird sentence to be saying now. The earliest that they want to launch is probably by February 8th. But that might get pushed as late as the 11th. But space is cool. And I think it's interesting to see like us trying to go back. And I think in a world that there's so many conversations and arguments about science and the role that government should play in science right now, going to the moon is something that I think a lot of people can feel positively about. And it's a big thing to try again, especially for the first time in nearly half a century. So I hope we still get to launch at some point. All of the photos look really cool. They really look like the Fantastic Four. And a lot of nerds are like, I hope they get powers. I hope this brings us to a better timeline. Tess, don't judge me. We need something to root for right now.
It's not you, it's Derek's comment.
Oh, I can't see because of my setup, so I'm gonna pretend he said something
Derek
super
said
nice to
it's
me.
longer than I've been flying on Delta.
Can we make fun
And
of
with
your
that-
old age, Derek? Is that okay?
Lord.
Oh, Derek, come on, come back on live. Don't make me host this. I'm so scared.
Yeah, Derek, get back here. Are you flying
Derek.
to Dallas or something? Also,
Derek, get off the plane.
speaking of Derek,
Hold
part
on, if Derek is flying to Dallas
Oh,
and I did
Lord.
not know about it, we're gonna have a whole other problem.
I'm pretty
Right.
sure it's where he's going. The man.
If Derek's
is
on the
everywhere.
plane flying to Dallas and Sam's hosting the live stream, then who's flying this plane?
Surely you can't be serious.
And with that amazing joke, we are going to transition to announcements. Grace, keep it going.
Thank you so much for asking about our announcements today. Oh no, I was trying to do a flight thing. Hold on. All right, everybody in the cabin. So we have a couple announcements. Most immediately, there will not be community group tonight. Boo, sad, aw, said the crowd. So no community group tonight, sadly. But there is a new thing, and it's kind of why we have Sam guest hosting today. So Studio Wesley Annex, a little video audio podcast talking about the lectionary each week, is starting its next season. And so you can see that typically they come out on YouTube, on your like audio podcast platforms. That'll start next week. So Derek's flying to Austin for anybody wondering. So all right, everybody in our Austin cabin, please understand that we will be starting Annex next week. Thank you so much. Any questions, please push your flight attendant button. We will make our way to your table soon. That's all for announcements. I hope.
And if you have any questions, look at Tess right now, who's seething with the information that Derek.
I actually am okay with him going to Austin. That's like 3 hours away from me. Love you, Derek. I'm not driving 3 hours. So
It's also where all the terrible comedians are. So, like, why go there? You know what I mean?
dang.
You heard it here first, folks. Take of the century that I don't know if I agree with or not.
Everybody knows that Burt Kreischer, Tom Segura, and all those Rogan Sphere guys aren't funny.
Yeah.
All right, we all know they're not funny. Like,
I just didn't know where they went. I didn't know.
Yeah, they left LA because they couldn't hack it, and now they're in Austin now. Anyways, can you tell that my favorite thing to listen to while doing dishes is hate videos about Austin comedians because it makes me wash them faster?
You got to get those dishes done so you can turn off the podcast that you chose to listen to.
Hey, when you got to scrub extra, you know what I mean? Like I'm scrubbing these clean.
It gives you the motivation you need. And with that, we are going to transition. We now have a storytime segment that we're going to be doing. I think the video's from Mike. So, video version of Mike.
Oh,
Got
video
it, Mike.
having issues.
Hey friends, Mike here with our story time for the week. So the title of this one is, Would I Be the A-Hole If I Told My Roommate's Mom That I Won't Be Following Her Rules in My Own Apartment? Story is, my roommate, who I'll call Emily, and I, both 21-year-old females, are college students, and we live in an off-campus apartment together. We split rent and utilities 50-50. I pay for my part myself, but Emily's parents pay for hers. Emily's mom is a bit overbearing and has a lot of rules for our apartment, the main one being that no boyfriends are allowed to sleep over as it's against her religion. She specifically told Emily to have a talk with me about this subject, to tell me this isn't allowed after we moved in. Emily doesn't care if I have a boyfriend over for the night, as she does it all the time without telling her parents. However, it strikes me the wrong way that Emily's mom feels like she can impose non-negotiable rules on me when she doesn't pay for any of my part of the bills. Today, Emily's parents are coming to visit, and I expect her mom to go over all the rules that she set with me. Would I be the a-hole if I told her mom that, with all due respect, I am paying my portion of the rent and she doesn't have any control of the things I do in my own apartment? On one hand, I feel like I'm justified. This woman is trying to impose her own religious beliefs onto me in an apartment that I pay half of the bills for. The idea of just rolling over and telling her that I'll obey her demands when just doing my own thing behind her back doesn't sit right with me. However, after speaking with my own mother about the subject, she thinks that it would be disrespectful. She says that even though I am paying for my half of the rent, Emily's family is still paying for this apartment, and they should be able to have a say of what goes on, even if Emily and I just end up breaking the rules anyways. I've spoken to Emily about the subject, and she doesn't care if I tell her mom that I will or will not be following those rules, as long as I don't indicate that Emily breaks them. So I was hoping to get some outside opinions here. What do you think? Would I be the a-hole if I told my roommate's mom that I won't be following her rules in my apartment?
Yes. Yeah. I've known that.
So thank you, Video Mike, for taking that away for us. I have a lot of immediate reactions, as I can tell the rest of us do. So we're gonna start. Grace, you seem to have the biggest reaction first. We're gonna start with you, and then go in any order we choose, because there's a lot to unpack with this one.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, not much to unpack because the answer seems pretty clear. I don't know. I'm trying to be like peaceful and like respectful about it because like I know there's nuances, but like Emily doesn't care. Emily's breaking the rules. Gosh, I hope Emily's parents aren't on Reddit. I doubt it, you know, and these are probably fake names, but like one, if Emily doesn't care, one about if you break the rules because she's also breaking them. If Emily doesn't care that you are sorry, this is my pen, so I guess now I'm just bippity boppity boo. Bippity boppity boo hoo mom, get over it. Like that feels like a really blunt reaction, but like my first suggestion was okay, talk to Emily and see how she feels because I know like the dynamics of like kids like lying to their parents and then like bringing like friends in on it and then it's awkward and then it's uncomfortable, but then like if Emily's fine, like Emily's not even asking you to lie to her parents too. Emily's like, I don't care, just like don't talk about my stuff. Fair. So like I guess it's just up to this person if you want to like are you comfortable in like defending your stuff, and it seems like this person is. So like go off, tell this woman, go off on these parents. Like you're paying your half of rent, so you're responsible for yourself. They're paying Emily's half of rent, they're not paying your half of the rent, they're not in charge of you, especially not religious rules. God no. Sorry.
No, I don't apologize. I think you're entirely justified, and I like that's one of my immediate things is like you're paying your half of the rent. So that's kind of the end of it for me. Neil, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I want to know what Tessa's dog thinks because clearly he thought so much of the
he
story
just
that
decided to hop up. Here, hey,
Yeah.
now you're being summoned. Now you could come on camera.
Yeah, come here. Hey, bud. Hi.
What do you think of the story?
We need some dog time.
He's happy that I no longer have a roommate. That's what he thinks of this.
No, yeah, very nice, very nice. My opinions. Yeah, I don't like when like parents try to parent people that aren't their kids. In the words of, I believe it was, I think this was a Vine back in the day where it's like, "You're not my dad." It's like, yeah, like you're not my mom. It's like literally, it's like, woman, you ain't birthed me. Like I ain't gotta listen to shit you say. Like that's just the way it works. You know, it's like if I'm paying my part of the rent, you know what I mean? And like her daughter, like you police your own child. Like if y'all are both 21-year-old quote unquote young adults, you know what I mean? It's like you can, you know, get drafted into a war, drink and pay taxes. Like you're fine. Like get your mom, get literally go get your mom, Emily. All right. Like keep her out of my business. Let me just do my thing. And you know, especially if Emily doesn't care. It's like, all right, well, cool. Like it's just her mom trying to like enforce stuff. It's like, man, I don't even know. Like it's like I've been in like similar like kind of like situations, you know, previously where like you've got a roommate with like a overprotective mom, but it's just like, dog, just chill, you know. It's like like let your kid make their own mistakes if they're going to, you know what I mean? Don't tell me what to do.
And that's even if it's a mistake, because like just not having like guys at the apartment is like I don't remember that part of the Bible specifically that says that as a commandment. Maybe I'm reading a different translation, but that's
that was the 12th commandment.
Oh yeah, I must have missed that one. I forgot that one.
Paul wrote that one.
Yeah, you gotta stop having guys over. Tess, take it away.
Yeah, I feel like my biggest thing, and maybe this is just me coming, I had a roommate for 3 years and we like got along but didn't really talk about things. But I like hearing this, I would be more worried that I'm on the same page with the actual roommate herself, which it sounds like they are. Like neither of them care. She's not following it. And so maybe this is bad, but like I would have no problem saying to the mom, like, sure, yeah, whatever. And I don't know, like maybe that's passive aggressive and just like not respecting the mom, but I don't think I would make a big deal out of it. I would just kind of go along with it and recognize that I'm not living with the mom. Who knows? Maybe she's so overprotective that she's there like every weekend and hovering, and that would probably be a different story. But yeah, as long as you're on the same page with the actual roommate, who cares what the mom thinks?
Because that's what I was going to point out is like the mom wouldn't know. So if the roommates, so what's the harm in doing this? Especially if like I think Grace said at the beginning, we're like if everybody's being healthy and everybody's like who nobody's gonna know and nobody's gonna be hurt by this.
Especially
I don't.
if her own daughter feels like protected enough to do this behind the mom's back, like why wouldn't the roommate?
Mhm. I don't understand really the logic behind this of what besides just I feel uncomfortable as a parent, but what it's not your kid and your kid's 21. Like I don't understand.
And who's to say they're doing anything bad, right? Well, I'm
Right.
gonna say quote unquote bad, right? What if
Mhm.
they're just building Legos? You know, what if they've got a Minecraft world to tend to and they're doing LAN only so they can't actually play apart from each other? You know, there's all sorts of who does OP care roommate of the mom? I mean, man, that is a good question, Derek. Grace, I saw you unmuting a second ago. You had something to say?
Yeah, I think I just, as somebody who, and I know this is on live, I know this is on the internet, I'm aware of this, but like as somebody who had to be really good at lying to overprotective parent, um, it to me in my mind, and notice I said parent singular, because the other one, yeah, we're fine. But like what I'm thinking about here is like, are you willing to, like, what is easier or what are you more interested in? Either like quote unquote keeping the peace in terms of just like this isn't a fight worth having. Like I can just tell you one thing and do my own thing and I'm fine with that. Or is OP committed to like does OP not feel like lying? Cuz that can also be something. It's like you're not going to force me to lie about something just to like go along with, and granted like it's not like the parent is forcing OP to lie. Like OP would either be deciding to lie and say sure whatever, yeah, we would love to follow your interpretation of Christian scripture, why not, um or OP is just going to be like straightforward and blunt. Like to me, I would be doing the mental math of like what's more worth it, like being comfortable in myself and being comfortable enough to lie to this parent to keep the peace, or being so sure of myself and like comfortable in that I'm willing to like speak up for my like decisions. And so those are my thoughts on like, and like I don't know OP's family background, I don't know like how they were raised, I don't know like if they have a religious background, then like maybe they can whip something together in terms of like, no, like actually according to like my interpretation of scripture, this is permissible because fill in the blank. So actually God's on my side, lady.
Ooh.
But
And
yeah, it just seems like what OP is going to be more comfortable with.
my thing about that mental math is like both comfortability, but also how far is the mom gonna take this? Is this just saying it, or like, are you because she's paying for the other half of the rent? And if you're gonna go so far as to like threaten to not pull rent or what, or like to pull rent or not pay for it, whatever, then also if I was OP, I would be considering like, is this already a environment I want to find myself in? Because like Tess said, if I have a comfortable relationship with a roommate, that's one thing. But if it's going to keep interfering with that relationship, then this is going to cause problems no matter what. And so like maybe this isn't a situation you want to be in, or you want your roommate to do something about that relationship with their mom and figure out some kind of new dynamic so it doesn't interfere with you.
Yeah, I'm with Grace as far as the like weighing things out. And I was trying to think of contexts where I like would take the other mom really seriously. And so like in Gainesville, it was really common for parents to like buy an apartment or a house or something near campus and then rent it out. So I'm like, is it that kind of situation where like, sure, you're paying rent, but they like really control it? Are they, I don't know, like maybe they co-signed for their daughter, you didn't have someone to co-sign, so you're like splitting the rent but you're not really on the lease? Like, what sorts of situations would make me take it more seriously? But if it's at its core just like kind of a typical college age like co-inhabiting situation, I would care so much more about the roommate, and assuming the mom's not there all the time and there's no threat to like you continuing to live there. I think that's a conversation that needs to happen between the roommate and her mom, not like OP and the mom. But that's just me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like, unless the mom can actually do something about it, unless like the mom, like you said, like, is co-signed, like, for the lease, or it's maybe it's one of these situations, I don't know how well off these people are, where it's like, oh, my mom like owns the house and they're renting out of that or whatever. If this is like public, like an apartment or like a house, like with and the mom is a third, not even really a third party, I guess, you know what I mean? It's like even more removed than that. It's like, hey, guess what? You don't get to tell me what to do. Like,
and especially if the roommate is already breaking the rules, like wouldn't the consequences come on the roommate first before they get to you? Like, not to throw them under the bus, but just, I feel like as long as they're doing the things too, then they are true, but they should be held accountable just as much as you are. And so I think that would take even more pressure off of OP.
Yeah.
Not just the same amount as you are, if not more. Like, it's not your daughter. I don't understand how you're trying to get OP in trouble.
Derek, you sound like a classic Redditor. Like, you're like, danger, danger, move out immediately, divorce him, girl, divorce him. Like, and sadly, like, it's like, well, one, it's like so easy to go to these like extremes, but also I've personally dealt with enough religious fanaticism in my life. I'm ready to not do that. So get out. Get out. Get TF out even.
To your point of like not going to extremes, the other part Mike brings up, as much as it was funny, brings up an also great point. I mean, if you are not paying for half the rent, there's a lot of crap I'd put up with and just kind of ignore. And like, to Tessa's point, maybe passive aggressive, but just yes, and I'm definitely following that rule the 2 times a month you're over or whatever, however overbearing it is, because that rent's probably not cheap. I don't care where they live, it's probably not cheap. And now that we brought it to the sad part of our economy, let's take a soul break. I want to thank everybody for joining us for this amazing live. We are going to end our segment for today with a reading of a prayer written by Mike Wang on Substack. Before I start, Derek, you're making me read something when I host, which is the one thing I refuse to do usually. So we'll have conversations about this later. But with that, I'm going to read our prayer for today. Dear friend, may you hear the good news. Your accomplishments do not alter divine joy. God rejoices over you. May you have the courage to be still and receive unmerited grace, unconditioned by performance. May your drive to fix the world and crush what lies before you be baptized and carried to a country of grace. May you smile when that little boy shows up again and again. Tell him you are beloved. In the name of the one who spoke to Nicodemus of being born from above. Amen. With that, I want to thank all of you guys for being on the episode with us. I want to thank all of you guys in the chat and in the audience who got to tune in today. And I'm just going to do the annex outro. And with that, all God's people are going to say, bye.